Welcome back to Stitch Happy Studios. Today we're going to be learning how to make a simple half double crochet beanie, adult size. I'm using a size J hook and we're using size 4 worsted weight yarn for this project. I'm going to be using Ferris Wheel by Lion Brand. As you can see, I found it on clearance at Walmart for $2, which always makes me happy. It's $3.47 normally at Walmart, and I want to say that it was $4.50 at Joann. So a deal always makes me happy. And I have a second one. I'm not sure exactly how much yarn this is going to use, so I've got two of these guys. And let's get started. We are going to start with using the magic circle. Well, first I should start by finding the center of my yarn ball. It's always an adventure. Feels like this one's going to come out on the other side. Here we go. So I found the center of my ball finally, and using my size J hook, though the pattern actually calls for a size I, but I happen to know that I crochet tightly, so I went up a size. We're going to use magic ring. So for magic ring, I've got my yarn. I'm just going to wrap it around my hand, and then I'm going to put it behind so that when I draw up the loop, it's kind of going over. See how it's crisscrossed there? I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to make 11 half double crochets into the magic circle, and the beginning chain 2 does not count as a stitch throughout the whole pattern. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, and now I'm going to tighten up my magic circle by just grabbing onto this tail here. Oops, it's a little bit twisted around. And I'm learning that this Ferris wheel yarn is a little grabby. It almost feels like wool. You know how wool can get kind of sticky almost when you crochet with it? This one's kind of sticky, Velcro-y. So I pulled that string to get it nice and tight, closed up our circle, and I'm going to join at the top of the first stitch with a slip stitch. And that's at the top of the stitch. I'm not going into the chain 2, but actually into the first full stitch and joining with a slip stitch. And that is the end of round 1. So for round 2, what we're going to do is we're going to chain 2, and we're going to half double crochet in that same stitch. So right there, that same hole where you just did your slip stitch, you're going to go back into that again, and you're going to do 2 half double crochet in that one. Oops, there we go. And you're going to do the same thing all the way around. You'll have a total of 22 stitches when you're done with this round. So just go on into the next stitch and do, if you can get into the next stitch, and just do 2 all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of this round so we can join together and then start on round 3. So now we have come full circle. I'm going to go ahead and join right here at the top of the very first stitch with a slip stitch. Going into round 3, we are going to chain 2 and do a half double crochet in that same place where we just did that slip stitch. And then we're going to do 2 half double crochet in the next. Then we're going to do 1 in the following stitch and 2 in the next. You're going to do that all the way around this circle. That's going to increase our stitches to 33. So I just did 2, so now I'm back to 1, then 2. Do that all the way around. I'll join you at the end, and then we will begin round 4. Okay, so now we're going to do the same as we did for the last round, where we join with a slip stitch in that very first stitch. Slip stitch. Look how nice that's coming along. Perfect circle. And we're going to chain 2, and we're going to again do 1 half double crochet into that same spot where we just did our slip stitch, and this time we're going to do a half double crochet in the very next stitch, and then 2 half double crochets. So the pattern here is 1 1 2 1 1 2. So I've done 1 1, now here's my second one, and then we repeat the pattern. So half double crochet, half double crochet, and then 2 half double crochet in the same stitch. We're going to do this all the way around, and at the end we should have a total of 44 stitches. Meet you at the end. Here we are at the end of round 4. We're just going to join with a slip stitch in our last stitch here, and on to round 5. We chain 2. We're going to half double crochet in the same stitch, and then we're going to switch up the pattern a little bit. We are going to do 9 half double crochets in the next, or 1 half double crochet in the next 9 stitches would be the more accurate way to say that. So 1 half double crochet in the next 9 stitches, and then we'll do 2 half double crochets in the following stitch. So let's do that together. We did the 1 in the first, now we're going to do 9. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and now we're going to do 2 in this next stitch. So right here we do 1, 2 half double crochets. And so now the repeating pattern from here is going to be 10 stitches, then 2 half double crochet, because we did that first one here that kind of counts separately. So we're going to do 10 stitches this time around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we put 2 half double crochets in the next. So here we're going to do 1, 2 in the same spot. Just complete that pattern all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end for joining. Okay, we just did 2 half double crochet in that last stitch, and now we're going to join with a slip stitch to the very first of the stitches we did. And at the end of round 5, you should have 48 stitches, because on that round we just did an increase of 4 stitches, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to follow in that similar pattern, except we're going to increase by 1. So for round 6, we chain 2 to start. 1, 2. We do a half double crochet in that same stitch as the one where we joined, and then we're going to do 10 half double crochet before we get to a double. So let's start here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and now we're going to do that double in this next stitch right here. And if you want to just kind of spot check your work, you should be able to see that where you're going in, let's see if I can get it close up here, is the same spot where you did a double from the previous round. You're going to be going and doing a double in that same stitch again. Okay, so now this time, instead of doing 10, we're going to do 11. We're going to do 11 half double crochets, then a double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, and now we're going to do a double crochet. Again, it's in the same spot where we did a double crochet on the previous round. You can see right there we've got 2 going into the same stitch, and now we're going to do the same thing again. And so you're going to repeat that pattern where we do 11 and then 2 half double crochet all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. We've made it to the end of round 6. You're going to join with a slip stitch at the beginning to the first half double crochet at the beginning. And at this point for round 6 you should have 52 stitches going around. See, we've got the nice top of our hat going. We are going to, for round 7, chain 2. We are going to half double crochet in the same, oop, I got myself a little tangle there. We are going to half double crochet in the same stitch as where we joined, as we've done in all the previous rounds. There we go. Chain 2, half double right here, and then we're going to count out 11 half double crochets and then a double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and now I'm going to do a double right here. And then the pattern that we're going to repeat for the rest of this is 12 and then a half double crochet. I'll do one of those with you and then I'll let you fly on your own. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oops, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And now what do? Another double half double, or 2 half double crochet in the next stitch. We do 2. So just repeat that around. You're going to do 12 and then 2, 12 and then 2, and I'll meet you at the end for joining.